Hey gorgeous souls, it's Vix. Happy holidays! I am here with this video today to share with you some of the tricks and tips and practices that I have found really useful at this time of year. I know it can be really hard for many different reasons, whether you are dealing with your own stuff in your life, whether you're spending time with family or friends or people who are challenging, whether other stuff's coming up for you. It can be a big time, and it can be really tough. So I've had some pretty tough Christmases myself, and I've found some really great practices that have helped me to just navigate through it in a way that helps me to really just get through it, but get through it from a perspective of, like, you know, staying in my power, staying true to myself, all of the stuff that we really want to do and we want to be able to do when we're on this spiritual path. So my first tip is to continue with your spiritual practice. So when we have stuff going on, whether it is like emotional stuff coming up, whether you are even like staying at somebody else's house, like all of these different things, when our routine changes and things start kind of coming up, one of the first things we do is we let go of our spiritual practice. I know I've done that in my life, and there's been times when I have consistently kind of thought to myself, okay, I'm going to keep doing my spiritual practice actually. And it is like completely different when you can have that anchoring point, when you can say, okay, you know, I'm still going to show up for my spiritual practice. I'm still going to do, you know, whatever your spiritual practice is in whatever way. It can be so grounding, so healing, and it can really help you stay in your power. So one thing you might want to do is you might need to change your spiritual practice a little bit depending on what is happening. If you're traveling, if you're staying with people that maybe aren't open to listening to you chanting Kundalini mantras for 31 minutes every morning, you might want to change it a little bit, but don't give it away. Make a plan for, like, you know, what's your spiritual practice that you do when you don't have time or you don't have space for your spiritual practice. Maybe it is just talking to your guides and angels in the shower. Maybe it is just 2 minutes of meditation. You just close your eyes and you go within for 2 minutes. Whatever you can do something, because it will really help you when at any time when you're dealing with chaos or just challenging times in your life. Stick with your spiritual practice as much as possible. That's my tip. Of course, if you can't stick to your spiritual practice, something happens, you're like, Vix, I haven't done a spiritual practice for 3 months, or you're like, I don't even have a daily spiritual practice, then, you know what, give yourself some grace. Sometimes you just, you know, you just are where you are and it's all good. Start again, or start today if you don't have a daily spiritual practice. I've talked about this in my books, in my courses. I would tell everybody that I ever talk to, a spiritual practice, a daily spiritual practice can really make a huge difference in your life. Like, unbelievable. I wouldn't be doing the work that I'm doing right now if I hadn't have set a spiritual practice in place for myself years and years ago. If you want more tips on that, read my book, Witch Please, or go find my courses. But yeah, it's the difference between the times in my life where I've been like, you know what, I'm not going to do my spiritual practice because everything's just too hard right now. And when I've done the opposite and said, you know what, everything's really hard right now, I really need to do my spiritual practice, has been just, you know, amazing. So that's my first tip. Basic energy protection. Ground, clear, and protect your energy. You can do this as part of your spiritual practice. You can do this as your spiritual practice, and there's so many ways to work with your energy. A really simple way to do it is just to do like a visualization, a meditation. Close your eyes, visualize yourself cleared with white light, visualize yourself protected with blue light. Visualize roots going down into the ground from your feet into the earth and anchoring into the center of the earth. Those 3 things can just it's a small thing, but it can really make you feel so much more grounded so much more protected from any energy that you are kind of dealing with at this time of year. And the clearing part as well, like if you're dealing with difficult people, if you're dealing with some of your own stuff coming up, if you're just going out dealing with people at the shops, or just, generally people can be a little bit kind of not in their power. A lot of people are just not in their power at this time of year, and they're really frazzled, they're stressed, they're, not dealing with it too well. We don't want to be those people. We want to be the people that are really like holding the positive frequencies, holding our power. We want to be in our power as much as possible. So making sure that you clear, you've gone to the shops, people were weird, you're dealing with road rage, whatever, clear your energy. Just visualize yourself cleared. Another beautiful energy clearing technique that you can do is work with the violet flame. And that is, if you're not familiar with the violet flame, again, there's like a course on my website. I've been creating content for so long that there's like a course for everything over there. But the violet flame is just this beautiful spiritual energy that we can call on. You can just, again, you visualize yourself filled with, surrounded by, cleared by this violet flame of light. It's really good for just kind of getting into all of the places where we're holding stuck and stagnant energy, whether it is stuff that we have picked up from other people, whether it is stuff that we have created and sent to others, or stuff that we've just created within ourselves. So a really beautiful way to do this is, again, close your eyes, visualize the violet flame coming in, filling you, surrounding you, and then just kind of say, may the violet flame clear, cleanse, release, and transmute any negative energy, any stuck and stagnant energy that I have picked up, that's been sent to me, that I've attracted, that I've created within myself or sent to others, and so it is. Amen. Or your own version of that. This is quick. I'm going through this quickly. Okay. So these are like some really good tools that you can use. And the violet flame is also really good for when you are dealing with difficult people, or in a situation where you feel like you might send some negative energy out to others. We don't always talk about this in the spiritual community. We like to talk a lot in the spiritual community as if we are victims and everybody's out to get us, and everybody's negative energy is out to get us, and we have to protect. But the truth is, we all have the ability to send out negative energy, especially when we're in challenging situations or we're faced with people we find really difficult. So creating a shield of the violet flame around you can be a really good protection technique that not only stops you from receiving other people's negativity, it stops you from sending any negativity or any of your own stuff out to other people. So if you really want to have like a beautiful holiday dinner with people that you find challenging, that's a really good one. If you're in a space where you're just like, I'm gonna say something to this person, they really like wind me up, and you're kind of sending out these energetic like, really struggle with this person, violet flame, then you're protected, they're protected, everybody's good. You don't have to like, spend the rest of the year trying to like clear and heal from that. Okay, another really good thing that you can do at this time of year, if you are a spiritual person, you may find it difficult to spend time with people who aren't spiritual because you really want to talk about your tarot deck collection or your crystals or whatever other woo-woo stuff you're interested in. And not everybody that we're spending time with at this time of year is into that stuff, understands that stuff, or is open to conversations about that stuff. There are times when it's really important for us to speak our truth and to share the truth of who we are and what we're really into, and those times and places are usually not at family events. Sometimes they are, if you have a family or people who you're meeting with at this time of year who are open to that stuff, then fantastic. Talk to them, share with them what you do. But there are people in my life that I do not talk to about my work. They don't really even know what I do for a living, because it's just, it's not something we have in common, so we don't talk about it, which, is fine. It's totally fine. So when you are faced with, your fundamentalist in-laws or people in your family that don't get it, or just other people that you're connecting with at this time of year who are not on the woo-woo train, it's okay to just like not talk about that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. In many ways, it's just a protection technique. When people ask you what you're into, you can say, oh yeah, I read tarot. And then if they're like, oh, tell me more, great, have a conversation. If they're like, oh, okay, and then they change the conversation, it's okay. You don't have to share everything about yourself with everybody. Another really difficult thing at this time of year, on top of all my woo-woo stuff, I'm also vegan, and that brings up like a whole thing as well. So sometimes I just find it easier to just, let's talk about something else, like let's talk about something else. Let's talk about current events. Let's talk about politics. I don't know. It's hard. It's really, really hard. But one thing that I have found that has helped me is just, you know what, I don't have to share every single opinion or thought or belief that I have with every single person, because some people just aren't open to that conversation. And you can save yourself a lot of stress, anxiety, suffering by just, knowing when it's appropriate to talk about that and when it's not going to help anyone. So an angel that you can call on for assistance at this time of year, of course, you can always call on any of the angels and they will come and they will help you. Archangel Michael is fantastic for protection. Archangel Zadkiel is excellent for helping with transmutation and working with the violet flame. But another one of my favorite angels for anything to do with family or just challenging, difficult relationships or conversations is Archangel Raguel. Raguel is this beautiful angel of just like peace and harmony. So if you really just need some peace and harmony in your life at this time of year, Raguel, call on Raguel. If you're going to an event with people you find challenging, call on Raguel. Ask him to be with you, surround you with his pale blue light. Ask him to fill the spaces. Ask him to go to the event space and fill the space with his peace and healing and harmonious energies. He is just like such a really great ally at these times. So call on Archangel Raguel. So obviously saying no and general boundaries is really great at this time of year. This isn't news to anybody who's watching this. Sometimes it's okay to say no. It's okay to say I can't. It's okay to say I'm busy. It's absolutely fine. And there may be people in your life that can't handle that, in which case that's their stuff, not your stuff. I know, I get it. Sometimes you can't say no. Sometimes you can't say no. Sometimes that's not an option. But when you can, then do, if you need to. And of course, general boundaries is just like, it's a whole thing. It's more than I can fit into this video. It's more than I could fit into any video really. But making sure that you have some boundaries, just generally like what is okay and what is not okay. And you know the drill. If there are people in your life that you're just like, I don't want to spend time with that person. Whether you have people in your life who are just incredibly challenging, toxic, abusive, all of these things, it's okay to just not see them. It's okay to not spend time with them. So yeah, say no. Crystals and protection objects. So this can be another thing that can be really, really useful. Use your tools, use your crystals. Get your favorite crystal, carry it with you all holiday season. Keep it in your pocket, wear it around your neck, put it in an earring, like whatever you need to do, carry your protection objects. So protection object can be absolutely anything. If you don't have a crystal, you can find anything. You can use a paper clip, you can use a pebble from your garden, you can use absolutely anything. And all you need to do is hold it in your hands, close your eyes, and just set the intention with it. This is my protection object. Whenever I have this with me, I am safe. And that can be really, really powerful to just carry that with you at this time of year. And use your crystals. If you have a specific thing going on, a specific thing where, okay, I really need harmony and peace, or I really need love, or I really need, get your rose quartz if you just need to feel more love at this time of year. Get your smoky quartz if you need protection. Whatever you feel you need, get your crystals, use them. If you have other spiritual tools as well, use them. So the next thing on my list is to get support. If you need support, reach out to your friends, reach out to the people that do get you, have a chat, talk about what's coming up, talk about what's challenging you, share between yourselves, share with each other spiritual tips and tools that have helped you. You can also get a reading. I'm open for readings again in January if you want to talk about anything that has been coming up for you over this time. And also I am running a Solstice event, the Eye of Ra workshop, if you want to come along, if you just need some time. It's 90 minutes. If you're just like, I just need 90 minutes for myself to go. We're going to be traveling to the sky temples to meet with the god Ra. We're going to get a solar plexus activation, which, like if you need to stand in your power, if you just want to feel like a bit more powerful at this time of year and moving into 2024, the solar plexus stuff is like, we need that as light workers, witches, magical people, spiritual people, highly sensitive people, all the things that we identify with. The solar plexus is very often one of the kind of least activated chakras for many of us. So we're going to experience that. We're going to get a full-on upgrade. We're going to get some light codes and activations. We're going to work with the ascension rays, the gold ascension rays. It's going to be mega. Come along to that if you feel like, I just need to take some time out and do some spiritual stuff for myself. The link will be below. Okay, let's talk about shadow work. Okay, so shadow work's a fun one. Maybe you are up for some shadow work at this time of year. Maybe you are not. Maybe you are just in the, Vix, I just need to get through this, and that's absolutely okay. But shadow work can be very, very powerful at this time of year because often, again, I kind of touched on it at the very beginning of this video where I said, sometimes we just want to be the victim when it comes to spirituality, and we want to be like, okay, everybody's got it in for me, everybody's trying to make my Christmas terrible, everybody's trying to send me negative energy. But, sometimes there's work for us to do as well. Whether that is, in your family, in your relationships, whatever's kind of happening for you at this time of year. Sometimes we are called to be the bigger people. And that's kind of like a weird term, as if to say the other person is smaller. But a lot of the people that we encounter at this time of year, they're not doing this work. They're not on this path. And that's okay, because not everybody is in this lifetime. Not everybody's going to find themselves the way that we have, or that we're trying to. So sometimes we have to look at how other people are behaving and acting and really kind of understand that not everyone's on this path, not everyone's on this journey, not everyone has read all of the self-help and spiritual books that we have. Not everyone has done the courses that we have, and that's okay, But we can always look as well at how we are responding to things, how we're treating other people. Compassion is a huge thing at this time of year. So we need to have boundaries. We absolutely need to have boundaries, right? We need to have boundaries. We need to say no. We need to look after our own energy. But a little bit of compassion can also go a really long way as well. If you can look at the people that are challenging you and try to have some compassion for them and try to think about, why is this person like they are? That can go a really, really long way. And we don't need to do that with people who are, really abusive or narcissistic or all of that kind of stuff. Hopefully, if you have people like that in your life, you don't have them in your life. You don't have them in your life. You know, you're able to step away and not have to deal with that. But if you do have to deal with that, that's kind of a different thing. What I'm talking about here when it comes to compassion is just the people that you find difficult, that you find challenging, that just really annoy you. Sometimes having compassion can really shift the relationship. It can really shift the way that they engage with you and the way that they treat you. And I've spoken about this before, I'll probably talk about it again. I've had people in my life that have been really, really hard work, like very, very hard work, people who have just, gone out of their way to make my life difficult. And when I shifted into a place of like compassion and started to send them love and started to try to understand why they are like they are, it shifted everything, completely shifted the way that they were towards me. So that can be a useful tip as well. Give yourself permission to feel how you feel at this time of year. Not everybody is in a super fun, Christmassy holiday, whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate mood. I love my Christmassy earrings, and these are cats. I don't know how well you can see them on the video, but these are like cats in Christmas hats. It's not like not everybody's into the Christmas thing, and if you're not into it and you're not feeling it, that's totally okay. That's totally okay. Giving yourself permission to feel how you feel is just everything. If you're not into it, you're not into it, and that's okay. There's a lot of cultural and societal pressures at this time of year, and it's not easy to say, you know what, I'm not going to be doing that. But it's totally okay if you do. It's absolutely okay if you do. You can create your own rituals and traditions. You can do your own witchy woo-woo thing. We have, right in the middle of this time of year, we have the solstice. I mean, that's what this is all about. The whole like Christmas thing is really just a solstice party that has gone that has gotten very, very weird over time. All right, it's gotten very, very weird. One beautiful thing to do at this time of year, if you're a witchy woo-woo type of person, pull it back to the roots of what this time of year is really all about. It's really about the turning of the wheel. It's really about the solstice. It's about the sun. It's about light. It's a festival of light. The light that helps us to live. Without the sun we wouldn't live. Our world, we wouldn't have trees, we wouldn't have plants or animals or us. We wouldn't be here without the light. So the physical light, it's a time to really our ancestors were sun worshippers because they could see, okay, without the sun, like, we're all screwed. So we worship the sun because it gives us life, and that's what this is all about. And of course, when we're on the spiritual path, it's also about connecting with the light within. So you can do that in any way you want to. You don't have to wear a silly hat or silly earrings or have a tree if you don't want to. It's all good. Do your own thing. Do your own thing. This year, I'm very much doing my own thing. I'm just, I'm having a quiet one this year, and I'm going to be eating Christmas nachos, vegan Christmas nachos with like red and green peppers. I'm going to be watching Christmas movies with my husband. Mum's coming over for lunch. That's kind of it. So we're going to have we're just going to do our own thing. We're just going to do what we feel like doing. And that's, sometimes that's great. That's great. So whatever you're doing, I just want to send you so much love and just wish you a really, really beautiful time. This is such a bizarre thing. Like I don't really know how else to explain Christmas. It's just that it's kind of really bizarre when you start to really unpick it and go, okay, why are we even doing this? Like, what is this? And everyone's so stuck on their traditions and oh, we got to do this because it's tradition. And sometimes that's really nice. And there are some things that I will be doing that I have done my whole life because they bring me comfort and they make me happy. But, you know, there's other things that I won't be doing. You know, there's other things I won't be doing that I'm like, you know what, society says we're supposed to eat a turkey, but I'm not going to be doing that because that's, you know, that's not what I do. That's not going to be what I'm going to do. So it's okay to say no to things. It's okay to make things your own and make this time of year really work for you. If you need support, like I said, I'm not open for readings until the middle of January. At the moment, you can book in for a reading in January. I'm like half filled up already for January, which is really, really exciting. I am super excited about doing readings again. I've kind of been doing readings on and off for the last couple of years, and I'm really feeling called to get back into doing readings, so yay. That's going to be really fun, but you can book in for January now, and you can join me for a solstice party as well. But also, you know, if you just need support, if you're just like, I just want to talk to people about what's going on, come to the Facebook group. It's Spiritual Journey Pit Stop on Facebook. Totally free to come and hang out in there and speak with other woo-woo people. You can always send me an email, gorgeous soul. You can always send me an email. It's like, sometimes people think that because you're on YouTube and you've got social media and whatever, you've got like a few social media followers, that like you're not a real person, you don't read comments or that you don't answer emails. If you email me, I will reply. I might not reply immediately, but I read all my emails and I reply to them all. So if you're just like, have no one else to talk to, you're really struggling at this time of year, send me an email. We can have a chat. Okay, sending you so much love and just wishing you an amazing time doing whatever you are doing. And I will see you on the next video. Lots and lots of love.